Good morning, boys and girls. Today's challenge is talking about architecture. Now, I mentioned in the text something about Frank Lloyd Wright. He's a famous architect, and this is one of his buildings he built. As you can see, this is his house he came up with, and the waterfall is actually going through. Here is another one of his buildings. This is the Guggenheim Museum. And there's some more. There's the inside. As you can see, he uses a lot of geometric shapes. And he's very inspired by nature. All different kinds of nature. This one's out in the middle of the desert. As you see the circular patterns around it, these houses, they just don't look like normal houses you normally see. Here's a picture of the inside. And there are plenty of other cool buildings. This is one in China. It's called the Piano House. As you can see, it looks like a giant violin and a piano. Here's another cool design. Comes up, looks like you can almost drive up through it. Now, this is the Ontario College of Art and Design. This one's got a giraffe coming out of it. This looks like something you'd see in an outer space movie. And this one's in the shape of an actual fish. Here's one in the shape of a high heel. This one's in the shape of a picnic basket. This one I've actually seen in person. And yes, the building is upside down. I don't know about y'all, but this one kind of reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they're coming out of the sewer. And yes, this one has a weird building on top. This one looks like a seashell. I like all the colors. These kind of remind me of a bunch of little boxes stacked on top of each other. Now, this is the Guggenheim in Spain. And you guessed it, this one's a library. This one kind of looks like it melted. This is a modern art museum in Paris I've actually been to. This is another angle of it. Looks like a bunch of pipes and tubes. It's really neat looking, and it's really huge building. And it's very cool inside. Of course, modern art always looks a little different. Here's another example. And another one. And this is the High Museum in our very own Atlanta, Georgia. And they'll often put up really cool modern art sculptures. All right, here is inside the High Museum. Very cool. And if any of your parents ever watch the TV show The Resident, this is also where it's filmed. Just another example of some modern art that I thought y'all might enjoy. Oh, and this is the kids area of the High Museum. Lots of different shapes, lots of different colors. All right, so your job is to make a building or a house. Design it however you want. Gave you some architectural ideas. Make it crazy. Do however you want. I got to figure out what I want to do. The one thing you might want to decide first is if it's going to be if it's going to be a house, or two, if it's going to be a building. If it's going to be a building, decide what they make in the building. Do they make donuts? Because if they make donuts, you might want to put a donut on your building. They might make tires. They might make bicycles. Who knows? Think about it. Be creative. Let's brainstorm. I think I want my building to be a modern art museum. So everything's going to be just a little bit crazy. Now, if I'm going to be building a modern art museum, you have to remember modern art is crazy. That's why I love it so much. This is a piece by Robert Rauschenberg, one of my favorites. There's also a lot of bold colors. Here's someone made a sculpture out of colored pencils. Then you have your famous ones like Jackson Pollock, Picasso, Piet Mondrian, or Edvard Munch. But I'm getting off topic. We are talking about a building. So most modern museums incorporate modern art into the exterior design. Best way to get started is to just jump right in. So let's start with the doorway. I think I want to do a big arching doorway. And remember, I'm drawing a whole building, so my doorway is not going to be huge and cover my whole paper, but it's small because I want it to look like I'm far away. Here's a good example of a time where I don't have a ruler, which is fine. I'm going to use this book edge because I know the book edge is straight. Oh, and sometimes it moves, which is okay. That's what erasers are for. All right, got kind of a doorway and a base for my art museum. And the perfect thing about this being a crazy art museum, my lines can be crazy. It doesn't matter. Make this a window. The actual door. Let's kind of make this a awning so people walk through. I'm just drawing lines to connect everything. I can go back in color, make this all stained glass, like that Mondrian picture I showed you with the red and the yellow and the blue and the whites. That would go perfect right in here and show off that modern art. All right, I'm gonna add in some geometric shapes. I'm just gonna put a giant round circle. Why? Because I can. Does it have to serve a purpose? Not in this artwork. And like I've been telling y'all, make a mistake, don't immediately freak out and erase the whole thing. Yes, the inside of my circle wasn't perfect, so I just kept drawing until it was, and then went back and erased. So now I just got this big building like this. I think the other thing I want to add is I love graffiti art. One of my favorites. So I think I'm going to do like kind of a graffiti thing right here. All right, I can start drawing this. Graffiti art you just kind of go to. And I'm going to figure out how I'm going to make this part of the building after I draw it. Part of my building right now. Okay, now I'm going to turn some of these lines to make them 3D. Just adding them in. So now this is part of a building. Maybe I make this a window. Let's connect that there. Connect those to the ground. Who knows, maybe you can make a building where it's actually the shape of your name. All right, since it's supposed to be far away, I think I'm going to make down here actual doors. Or they can all be windows. Remember, a building can almost be anything you want it to be. I can't figure out what I want to do with this tail end right here. Maybe make it come out more. Yeah, and have it go down like that. So now it's a weird shaped building, but it is a building. Let's make my O kind of 3D. And that's my weird art museum. Like I said, you can go crazy. Do it however you want. Make it in your name. Let's make this more windows. And it can be however you want it to be. Be creative as possible. Y'all have a great day.